welcome to the Real Autism Podcast, where we share relevant, effective, actionable living strategies and solutions. I am your host, Alicia Gaucher Page, and more importantly, I am the mom of 2 children that are autistic. So today, I want to bring you into my living room where I am going to talk to a fellow caregiver, Miss Latrice Henderson. Latrice, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I am happy to have you. So tell me about you. Who is Latrice?
Latrice is a HBCU graduate.
Okay,
HBCU. I am, thank you, Alcorn State University. Oh. I am married. I am married to my husband of 4 years. It'll almost be 5 years.
Okay.
We have a 4-year-old son and a 15-year-old dog.
15-year-old dog,
yes,
holding on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is great.
On.
I was excited when you said HBCU, but when you said Alcorn, I felt a little.
Oh no, don't tell me.
Because I went to the Jackson State University.
Unfortunately. I'm sorry to hear that.
We share the love of our HBCUs
yes.
as well as the love of our children who are both autistic.
Absolutely.
So I brought you here because I think it's great for people to hear the perspective of caregivers. And when we first met, which by the way was recently, you told me that you really are new to the journey of autism.
Yes.
And that your son, Roddy, we call him Roddy. Roddy just recently got diagnosed. So tell us about Roddy. Like, what are some of the things he loves doing and what makes him shine?
Oh, well, Roddy is super, 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 super smart. He loves numbers. He's very affectionate. He counts from the time he wakes up to the time he goes to sleep.
Okay.
He loves math.
Okay.
He loves to learn. He's like a little bitty sponge. Like he loves shapes and colors and his alphabet and all of that. Like we tried to get him to watch like regular cartoons like SpongeBob and stuff like that. And he's like, I don't like any of that. Like if it's not learning,
I'm not
great. For it. Right. So he watches a lot of like YouTube videos, or we have a lot of learning toys. But he loves to learn. He's super athletic, loves to jump, stretch, flip, all of that. Yesterday, he just jumped up and did a toe touch like 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Just
he
random.
Is flexible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just random. But he's such a shining star. Everyone loves him and they gravitate towards him. So, yeah.
So it's interesting you say that, right? Because many people feel like when you meet somebody that's autistic, that they're different, which there are some differences, but all of us are different. Even as neurotypical, we're different. But what you just described sounds like a neurotypical child. So what made you all go the journey and figure out that he was autism? Talk to me about how that happened.
So I started to see like little things, maybe around, it was before 18 months, but he would walk on his tippy toes a lot, and his dad family would say, well, his dad walked on his tippy toes. And then I was like, okay. And so he would also like look at his hands very intently a lot, and it seemed like he was trying to make one do the same as the other. Then he started lining things up, and we watched like Miko, like a YouTube or Instagram series with her, and I was like, like Roddy sucks his thumb like that, and twirls, and she listed like the things that she looked at when Miko was a child, and I was like, this kind of like Roddy. But then I was thinking like, oh well, they said that Roderick, his dad, walked on his toes, and all of that, kind of second guessing myself.
Right.
And then when he stopped talking or not focused and all of that, I was like, it's a little something more. And so that led me on the journey to at least get him speech therapy.
Okay.
And so his pediatrician and everybody was like, oh, well, he's not in school, so just put him around kids and then maybe he'll start talking.
That was a pediatrician?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we hadn't tried school. Like, he was just under us all day. Mm-hmm. So she was like, well, maybe school or like a library program, like where they just sit and they're around other kids and all of this. So I tried that first. And we would go to the library on Wednesdays and have him around other kids. And he still wasn't talking. And so I was like, well, can we just put him in speech just to see? And so we did. He was like 1. And the speech therapist was like, he's so young, so it may not be, anything. He'll probably, once he's around kids and all that stuff.
Everybody sounds like they're giving him more time. Like, let's get him in an environment where he's around people. So once you fast forward past that, when was the time that someone said, hey, let's look into this a little deeper?
It was me.
Okay.
Of like, we need to get him tested or something. And he was in like a regular daycare, and one of the other kids was diagnosed with autism, and his mom, she was like one of the teachers there, and she said, have you ever thought about getting him tested like beyond speech? And I was like, yeah, I've thought about it, but I haven't. They said that they had to wait until he was 2, and he wasn't 2 yet. So then after that, it took a long time. Like, everyone was booked. They put me on a babies can't wait list, and I never heard from them.
Wow.
Until I just kept calling. I was like, let me find all this stuff myself. So I found him, speech, getting tested, like all of that stuff. And I remember calling them, and she was like, oh, well, we had your wrong address on file, and we had your wrong phone number on file. So I was like, okay, I had to do it myself. And she was like, oh, well, you're doing my job. Well, he was going to be 3 soon, so he was going to age out. And I was like, I can't just not have him any help waiting on you.
You're a mom. Right. So we want the best for our kids. So it would have been like, no, I'm not doing your job. I'm doing my job to make sure I get my child the greatest resources they have.
Yes.
Well, I wanna take this moment to applaud you for taking the bull by the horns and figuring it out, because many times parents face some element of apprehension or denial in terms of how should I move? I mean, for me, with my daughter, she had some other medical issues going on. In addition to, I was a first-time mom, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. So we rely a lot on the people around us, our family, our friends who had kids. We rely on the doctors that notice these signs, that do this for a profession. So kudos to you for staying resilient and figuring this out. And once you got the diagnosis, how did that affect you? How did it affect your husband? Because someone just told you pretty much your child, they give you this sheet of paper, right? Yeah. And they say pretty much your child has this diagnosis. Their life is going to be different, and you got to do this, this, and this. How did that make you feel?
Initially, I was relieved. Like, I just felt like I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and like, it just seemed like everybody was brushing me off a little bit, like, oh, he'll be fine, or, he just needs this, needs that. And I was just like, no, it's something else. Like, he needs a little more help. And I was relieved that I wasn't the only one seeing this. Like, it was really what I thought it was. And then I got, like, when she was reading out everything, the psychologist, we met with her. And when she got to the last part, and it was like, oh, level 3 support, and I just cried because I got sad, because I was like, in my mind, I knew I had to get him some help and all of that, but I just never thought it didn't enter in my mind that he needed level 3 support.
Right.
I just didn't.
Right.
And then I got motivated. Like, okay, so we need to do this, this, and this. Yes, let's do it. We're going to have to do this. And then my husband, he was like, it doesn't matter how far we have to drive. Like, let's just get him into the best programs. And it was a little guilt sprinkled in between.
Of course.
You know,
yeah.
all of that. Just, well, what did I do wrong? Should I have eaten spinach every day?
Right.
Like,
right.
Like, what is it? Is it something that I did? Like, should he have not looked at a television until, just everything. But it was definitely a roller coaster of emotion, and it still is. Like, I still, have a little guilt every now and then, and then I get like motivated every now and then, like, oh, this person said that they didn't start talking until 11 and they did this and this. Like, let me see if they have this. Or Roddy loves math. Let me see if they have a STEAM program for him. Like, all of that just to make sure that he has the best.
Right. So for our audience, when we say level 3, there are 3 levels. There's level 1, 2, and 3. Level 1 essentially means they need minimal support, right? Level 2 means pretty much moderate. They need some support, but they can somewhat move on their own, but they need a little bit more support. Level 3 is they need significant support. And so what Latrice just shared is that Roddy was level 3. My children fall within the level 2 and the level 3, but I will say that, of course, they have to give us a number, but it doesn't define their potential. So don't let it define your potential, what your child can do. And I also think sometimes for our loved ones that are nonverbal, they're somewhat at a disadvantage because people automatically assume because they don't speak, they're not intelligent, that they can't do these things, that they can't read, that they don't understand. And those are all myths of being autistic. Yes. So just wanted to say that for our audience so they can learn what these levels mean. So what specific challenge have you faced that you want to talk about? Maybe that I can help you with based on my 20 years of experience. Like, what is an issue that you have? It could be with you. It could be with Roddy.
I have several, but
pick your top. Pick your top.
One major challenge that I have is finding myself outside of being his mom. I mean, I love being his mom, but just trying to find something for myself. Like, who am I? Like, did you go through that? Did you have that journey? Do you have any tips on how to get to a point where you can identify yourself?
Well, that I get it. You know, for me, I'm very social. I'm involved in my sorority. I'm involved in my church. I like to hang out with my friends, do all those things. But once you get the diagnosis, right, you feel like you got to be heads down. You feel like you're up against the clock and you got to get this stuff done. I think the biggest part is creating a village of people around you. And so one of the reasons why I do this podcast is not just to talk to the caregivers or to help the individuals with autism, but to provide a picture for our families and friends that want to help us. Yeah. But a lot of times they don't know how. Right. And I think for me, it's been hard to ask for help. I don't know what it's been for you, but it's been really hard for me to ask for help. So in terms of finding yourself, I plan and I schedule everything. I think it's appropriate for you to schedule time for yourself where Roddy can't even interfere with that time. And that doesn't make you a bad mom. It makes you, it's kind of like when you're on the airplane, right? They tell you if you get into a plane crash, what do they say? You got to
put the oxygen mask on you first.
You got to put it on you first before you put it on the next person. And why do you think they say that?
So you can revive yourself, because you have to have enough strength to be able to help someone else. Yeah.
You just answered your own question, ma'am.
did.
So I don't know what it is that you enjoy doing, but
Yeah.
what I do know is it's okay for you to take time out for yourself. It's okay for you to take time out for you and your husband, because this can take a big toll on your relationship. You know, you're the nurturer, right? So you're putting a lot of emphasis, and I'm sure he's a nurturer as well. But as moms, that's kind of innate. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
So I would say doing some self-reflection, remembering Latrice and when Latrice was her best, when Latrice was fly, when Latrice was just doing all the things. Remember those times and make time for that. I mean, I remember, I post my life on social media. So people see all the things that I'm doing. And I've actually had people, if you can believe it, be like, I mean, you sure be out a lot. You sure hanging out. Who keeping the kids? As if to say,
yeah,
I'm not supposed to have a life.
Right.
So I would also say, when you start doing things for yourself, you may get that reaction, but you know what you are to Roddy, and Roddy knows what you are to him. So that's really all that matters.
Okay.
Does that help?
It does.
You said you had another challenge. We might have time for it.
Finding support and trusting others with your kids. You touched a little bit on it because you outside. And so,
I'm outside, girl.
So finding support and trusting other people with your children and caring for them how you will want them to be cared for.
That is a great question. Look at you interviewing me on this is my podcast and you interviewing me. I would say I'm an expectation setter. So it's important, regardless of who I'm talking to and what we're talking about, to set expectations. So I used a website at the time where I can go out and identify caregivers. So I created a profile. If you go to care.com, you can create your own profile, say what your needs are, and when you interview them. So the tricky thing about that is you can ask somebody a closed-ended question and say, do you have experience working with individuals with autism? They're interviewing for their job. What do you think they're going to say?
Yes.
They're going to say yes, right? So you have to do your due diligence when you interview them and say, hey, tell me about your experience. Give me a time when, whatever. Like in my case, Jasmine had some aggressive behavior. So what I wanted to assess was what is that caregiver's experience with dealing with somebody's aggressive behavior? How did you react? So I think it's important to, 1, set the expectations, 2, ask the questions, and 3, ask open-ended questions as opposed to closed-ended questions. And be specific about what you want for Roddy. Like, if you don't want Roddy walking out the door looking ashy on the elbows, you tell them.
Yeah.
Make sure you put some lotion on Roddy's elbows. Like, there is never a time when it's not, it's too much information you are providing, because that's your child. And I also try to build alliances with people. I don't try to be overbearing, because once you bring a caregiver into your household, they kind of become like family, right? So they're going to establish their own relationship with Roddy. They're going to learn him. They're going to learn their way of how they communicate. I have a caregiver for my daughter. She don't play no games. And you know what? I don't step in the way of that. Yeah. Because I'm watching it and I see she's doing it from a place of love. So I think the short answer is tell them what you want, how you want it, and pay attention. And ain't nothing like cameras in the house. And people say, well, Alicia, you put cameras in the house, they're going to see the camera. Let me tell you, people forget that cameras are up in the house.
Right.
And that's when you can see certain behaviors. So that's what the advice I would give there. And I mean, I'm a Christian. So I believe in prayer, and I believe in praying over my house and praying over my kids to ensure that they are protected. And I ask God to remove that fear from me.
Yes.
So that not only can I have peace of mind, but so my child can flourish. That's what I got.
Good.
How did I do?
You did awesome.
I did awesome. Well,
Yes.
I guess from your position and kind of where you are now and just starting this journey, what advice would you give to another caregiver? Just starting out.
Just starting out. Don't overwhelm yourself. Definitely find resources, but try not to make it your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace.
I love that. That's a good closing statement right there, Latrice. Give yourself some grace, because it is a journey. And I'll add to that, surround yourself by community. And the Real Autism Podcast, that's what we're here for. We're here to build a community so that you don't have to go through this together. We can touch and agree and know that we can get through this together. So, want to thank you for coming on the Real Autism Podcast, where we share relevant, effective, actionable living strategies and solutions. Join us next time. See you soon.